November 13, 2022, a quiet college town in Moscow, Idaho, went to sleep without knowing it was about to become a name the entire country would whisper in shock. For university students were found dead inside an off-campus house near the University of Idaho, and the silence that followed was heavier than any scream. News vans flooded the streets, helicopters circled overhead, and a small town became the center of a national nightmare. Parents across America suddenly looked at their college-aged children differently, locking doors twice, calling them more often. The victims were young, full of plans, futures, and unfinished conversations that would never be completed. Investigators faced a scene that raised more questions than answers, and the absence of immediate suspects terrified the public. There was no forced entry reported, no clear motive, no quick arrest to calm the storm. Social media exploded with theories, accusations, and online detectives building narratives without evidence. Every rumor became a headline, every speculation felt real, and fear spread faster than facts. The town of Moscow stopped feeling safe, and the country watched closely. Weeks passed with little public information, and frustration grew louder. Law enforcement insisted they were building a case carefully, piece by piece. Behind the scenes, digital footprints, phone records, surveillance footage, and DNA analysis were quietly being examined. Then a name surfaced that most Americans had never heard before: Bryan Kohberger, a graduate student studying criminology. Someone who had researched criminal behavior suddenly became the focus of national attention. The irony struck immediately: a man studying crime, now accused of committing one. Reports described him as quiet, intense, analytical. Classmates recalled discussions about psychology, patterns, and the minds of criminals. The public narrative shifted from "who did this?" to "how could someone like this do it?" Investigators traced vehicle movements through surveillance cameras across multiple neighborhoods. A white sedan appeared repeatedly in key time windows, captured in fragments of video from different angles. Phone records allegedly showed movements consistent with those same locations. DNA evidence became a crucial piece of the puzzle, connecting dots that at once seemed scattered. The arrest came weeks later, across state lines, catching many by surprise. The quiet graduate student was now in custody, facing charges that stunned the nation. Media outlets dissected every detail of his background, searching for warning signs. Former acquaintances spoke about personality shifts, awkward interactions, and unusual intensity, yet nothing definitive explained the brutality of what allegedly occurred. America wanted answers, not just headlines. Psychologists began analyzing publicly available information, debating possible motives. Was it obsession, resentment, curiosity turned dark, or something deeper and more complex? The human mind seeks patterns, especially when confronting chaos. A criminology student understanding investigative techniques raised unsettling questions. Could knowledge of procedure influence behavior? Did academic interest blur into something more dangerous? Or was this a case of projection by a frightened public trying to make sense of horror? The speculation grew, but facts remained limited. Court documents revealed structured investigative steps rather than cinematic breakthroughs. It wasn't one dramatic clue, it was accumulation. Digital breadcrumbs rarely disappear completely in modern America. Cell towers log connections. Cameras record late-night traffic. Databases cross-reference information in seconds. Investigators don't need witnesses when technology speaks. The narrative that emerged wasn't explosive, it was methodical. Surveillance, analysis, patience, public pressure did not accelerate the case. Precision did. Behind closed doors, forensic labs worked quietly. The silence from authorities was strategy, not failure. Meanwhile, the victims' families endured a grief impossible to measure. Their names were spoken daily on national television, yet no coverage could restore what was lost. The case transformed from local tragedy into a cultural moment. College safety became a trending topic. Conversations about mental health, isolation, and extremism resurfaced. The public wanted a villain they could understand, but real life rarely delivers clear motives wrapped neatly in explanation. Court proceedings became the next stage, slower than the news cycle preferred. Legal standards require evidence, not emotion, and evidence must withstand scrutiny. Analysts debated personality traits often associated with violent offenders. Patterns of detachment, control, fixation, words repeated endlessly across broadcasts. Yet psychology is not prophecy. Many people study crime without becoming criminals. The tension between knowledge and action fascinated the public. How thin is the line between studying darkness and stepping into it? That question fueled documentaries, podcasts, and endless online debates. The house itself eventually became a symbol: boarded windows, police tape frozen in memory, a physical reminder of how fragile normalcy can be. Fear lingers long after headlines fade. For months, every new filing reignited attention. Legal experts dissected motions and procedural arguments in primetime segments. The presumption of innocence stood against public assumption. Social media trials ran parallel to courtroom proceedings. America once again confronted its obsession with true crime. Streaming platforms prepared documentaries before verdicts were even reached. The line between information and entertainment blurred. Yet behind every headline were real lives altered permanently. The victims' friends returned to classes in buildings that felt different. Safety became a question rather than an assumption. The case highlighted how technology shapes modern investigations. Surveillance networks function like silent witnesses across cities. Data trails are difficult to erase in a digital world. The myth of the perfect crime weakens each year. Forensic science evolves faster than public understanding. Patterns that once went unnoticed now light up investigative dashboards. The Idaho case became an example of patient technology-driven policing. It also revealed how quickly narratives form without full evidence. The space between accusation and conviction is legally significant, and justice moves deliberately, not dramatically. Today, the story remains ongoing within the legal system, its final chapter unwritten. For many Americans, the case represents fear invading ordinary life. For others, it's a reminder that behind quiet exteriors can exist unknown complexities. The chilling aspect isn't just the crime itself, it's the realization that evil doesn't always announce itself loudly. And as courtrooms decide facts and families seek closure, the nation is left confronting a deeper question. How well do we truly understand the human mind when it turns toward darkness?